Immediately invoked function expression. This function is going to be called as soon as your code is read, meaning that you do not have to use the function name to call it. And I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what that looks like now. What you want to do, it's going to seem counterintuitive, is start with parentheses. And here you want to type function and then your parentheses again. And these parentheses are where you can put any parameters that you want to add. Then you want to go ahead and add your curly braces. We're going to reference our output variable again so we can print this out to our page, and then change the inner HTML value. And then we're gonna add a string that says this function is immediately executed. And then at the end, we want to add our parentheses. And this is basically going to be our function call. So if you are, for example, using a parameter such as X, here is where you're going to want to insert your parameter like so. But in our case, we are not going to be using any parameters, so we're going to leave this little parenthesis block here blank. Now you're going to notice that I am not calling this function anywhere below it, and you're going to see that our function is immediately executed without a formal function call. Technically, this parenthesis is sort of acting as a function call, so it depends on how you look at this one. And this is a really cool way to declare a function where it immediately invokes. But the bad part about this is if I want to reuse it again, I have to repeat my code. That's the whole purpose of creating a function in the first place, is so you don't repeat yourself. So if you guys do want to call this function more than once, what you can do here is basically turn it into a function expression using your const let or var keyword. And then we're going to call this trial for the sake of the video, and then we're going to make that equal to our immediately invoked function. And now we can run trial as many times as we like down below here, and it will work perfectly fine. So this will be useful if you do need to insert parameters into your immediately invoked function expression here. But again, I would recommend just doing it the normal way, because that's how most programmers and most people are used to seeing it. This may throw some people off, especially if they're not familiar with this specific function declaration. When you use this type of function declaration, it is not going to be hoisted, meaning that if you try and call your function before you declare it, it is not going to work. As you guys can see over here, it is not printing, and our error message cannot access trial before initialization is printing in our console. Click the card above to see what happens next.